Today's scripture reading is taken from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 14, verses 27 to 52. And Jesus said to them, "You will all fall away, for it is written, 'I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered.' But after I am raised up, I will go before you to Galilee." Peter said to him, "Even though they all fall away, I will not." And Jesus said to him, "Truly, I tell you, this very night, before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. But he said emphatically, "If I must die with you, I will not deny you." And they all said the same. And they went to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." And he took with him Peter and James and John, and began to be greatly distressed and troubled. And he said to them, "My soul is very sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and watch." And going a little further, he fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, "Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I will, but what you will." And he came and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Could you not watch 1 hour? Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." And again he went away and prayed, saying the same words. And again he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were very heavy, and they did not know what to answer him. And he came the 3rd time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? It is enough. The hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." And immediately, while he was still speaking, Judas came, one of the 12, and with him a crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I will kiss is the man. Seize him and lead him away under guard." And when he came, he went up to him at once and said, "Rabbi," and he kissed him. And they laid hands on him and seized him. But one of those who stood by drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear. And Jesus said to them, "Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs to capture me? Day after day I was with you in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me. But let the scriptures be fulfilled." And they all left him and fled. And a young man followed him with nothing but a linen cloth about his body, and they seized him. But he left the linen cloth and ran away naked. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Amen.
Good morning. You heard the reading just now. It's one of the most pathetic stories in the Bible. Jesus who came to save the people, Jesus who chose his disciples. Jesus knew they were going to desert him, and yet he went with them. And this is the story of our lives. And I must say that I really struggled over this passage that we are reading to see what it is that we need to get out of this. What is it that we can use in our lives to change our lives if we need to, or to make the lives of other people more meaningful? Okay. Now, if we go back to the passage that we are reading now, Jesus and his disciples had the Passover meal, and when they had sung hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. And Jesus said to them, "You will all fall away, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered." I think it's a terrible statement. I wonder what the disciples felt at that time. Judas would have his own feelings. Peter would have his own feelings. All of them would have different thoughts going through their minds. And Peter is one of the three that Jesus trusted most in. Peter said, "Even though they all fall away, of the 12 of them, I will not." And he said to Jesus, and Jesus said to Peter, "Truly I tell you, this very night, before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." What would Peter have thought? I really don't know. But Peter said emphatically, "If I must die with you, I will not deny you." His intention was good. I believe at that time he really believed it. We know that Peter denied Jesus and that all of the disciples fell away. Jesus was arrested by the mob, and after that, you know the story of the rooster crowing twice, and that Peter had been told that he is going to deny Jesus 3 times. And when he heard the rooster crowing, he wept. He said he had denied his God who came for him. Fast forward. So Peter said, "I will not deny you." Peter denied Jesus. Jesus was arrested, tortured, and sent to the cross. I'm jumping straight through to the other end of the story. Jesus, after he rose from the dead, he told his disciples, "I will meet you in Galilee." And he went to Galilee, and Peter was with them. Jesus asked Peter again, "Do you love me?" 3 times. And each time Peter said, "Yes." And Jesus said, "Feed my lambs. Tend my sheep. Feed my sheep." I don't intend today to talk about the whole time when he was tortured and beaten and humiliated and all the things that we went through. But here we're talking about Jesus giving Peter a second chance. The man who denied him, the man who was so close to him, Jesus said, "We're going to use you. I'm going to use you." Peter was reinstated and the church was established. And what is the church doing. The basic thing that Jesus did was showing grace. By showing grace to the people who denied him, who in fact tortured him, and who ran away from him. Many people are suffering, afraid, and lonely. I want to read to you a story of Paco. This is a book from Ernest Hemingway. Paco was a man, Paco was a common name in Spain. And one day, Paco had gone away from his father, had been estranged from his father, and one day his father, after many years, put an advertisement in the newspaper saying, "Paco, meet me at the Hotel Montana noon Tuesday. All is forgiven." The father goes to the square. On Tuesday at noontime, he finds 800 people, all with the name of Paco, hoping to see their father. This is what it was. Jesus was denied. The separation was almost complete, and there is one father looking for his son, and there were 800 people looking for their father. Isn't that our story? We deny our Christ. We make promises after promises, and yet we fail. Everyone has a deep longing for grace. See, when we sit here, we go for fellowship time, we're talking about good things, we're smiling and all that. But each one of us, I can be sure, has a heart, some part inside that regrets what we have not done or what we have done. They're waiting for reconciliation. Jesus gives us a way. We may all be Pacos. Everyone is longing for grace, for love, for recognition. Grace is when a cancer patient in late stages, as I'm talking about a patient I've had patients like this. They know they're going to die. And they come into the clinic, they open the door and say, "Doctor, how are you today?" That person is coming for treatment. That person knows she is going to die. But she is giving grace. She gives a smile in her face. That's grace. Grace is what we all long for. Grace is what the Lord's Prayer that he taught us, in the Lord's Prayer, he says, "Forgive us our sins." But there is a catch to that. As we forgive others. So often we forget that part of the Lord's Prayer. If you really think of it, when I think of it, when I read it, I shudder. Do we practice it? That means if we don't forgive, our opportunity for forgiveness is restricted. It's a conditional forgiveness. You know the story of the adulterous woman brought to Jesus. They were going to stone her to death. What did Jesus say? He who is without sin can cast the first stone. And what happened? One by one, they left. Because everybody carries a hurt, carries a mistake they've made, a sin they have committed, which most people don't know. Everybody walked away. And Jesus said, go and sin no more. That's forgiveness. Vasanta and I worked in the Ministry of Health for many years, almost 30 years. 2 years of those were spent in a leprosy hospital in Sungai Buloh. At that time, there were a lot of people with leprosy. Leprosy was initially not treatable. These were people who were brought to the colony, given treatment, and kept in the colony forever. They never went home. Their families discarded them. If you had leprosy, nobody, in those days, the families did not have them in their home. And we had a very good time. We met very fine people. And we met a lady called Ango. We used to call her Ango Chair. She was a leper who has been cleaned. And those of you, in fact, if you don't see leprosy patients now, we saw patients who had no nose, no hands, no feet. They had no sensation of pain. So what happens? When you have no sensation of pain, when you get a cut, it gets infected. Maggots grow because flies lay eggs in them. They don't know. And people have to clean them. And the normal nurses would not do that. So they would recruit nurses, people from the leprosy colony, give them basic training and treat them, show them how to clean the maggots. And there was this lady we knew quite well. She was a Christian. I'm not sure whether she became a Christian after she went to the leprosy colony, because there was a small church there, or she was a Christian before. So we used to buy some fruits from her. She grew some rambutans and all that. And then after 2 years, we were posted away somewhere else. Then Vasanta and I said, we must go and see Ango Chair. That's what we called her. We didn't know where she was staying. She had moved. We asked some people. They said, oh, she's staying in that other place. She's still around. And we went to see her. As we were going, from a distance, one lady was looking at us. A lady without feet, a lady without fingers, a lady without nose. Running along. She can't run, no feet to run. She was just trotting across and come to see us. You know what she said? Where were you? I was waiting for you. People are hurting. Where were you? So many people can ask us the same question. Where were you? Jesus saw many leprosy people. In this time, there was no treatment. They were similar to Sungai Buloh. They were ostracized by their families. They walked together, and they were not allowed to meet other people. They say leper, leper, and the people are supposed to move away. Jesus went to them. Jesus healed them. Jesus touched them. Do we touch the people who we don't like, we think are not good. And I just want to go to the story of Jesus taught by specific instructions. Jesus taught by telling parables. Parables are stories with a lesson. I want to bring to you the story of the prodigal son. You all know the story of the prodigal son. We know the man who was given his portion of his share from his father's estate and went and spent all his money and became so poor and he didn't even eat. He only could eat the food of the pigs. And finally he says, I'll go back and work in my father's house as a laborer, and at least I can have the food that the pigs are having. The parable says, as this man walks to his father's place, his father is walking up and down, looking and waiting for his son. He gets him, clothes him, washes him, feeds him. A feast is given. No retribution, no punishment. He never expected that. He never expected that. That's the God that we have, who waits for us, who cares for us. Despite all that we have done, He still cares for us. Everybody seeks to be recognized. Everybody seeks to find approval, that somebody likes me, I like you. What Jesus has given is grace, not because we deserve it, because He's waiting for us. Grace is not conditional. Grace doesn't expect apology. Grace may not even need words. I talked about cancer patients who care for others. Jesus said, feed my lambs. Jesus has given us the task of doing the same thing, unconditional love. Look out for people who need them. Do it not because they are good to you or they have smiled to you. The people who neglect you, people who say bad things about you, these are the people that Jesus has asked us to go to. Every human being craves to have grace. What is the message for the Christians that we have now? It's the message of Christ to the world. The main mission of the church is to make disciples of all nations, to baptize, to feed them, and when Peter was brought back into the favor, what was Jesus' instruction to him? Feed my lambs. Tend my sheep. Feed my sheep. Go out. You're supposed to go away. Go to the people who need you. That's Peter's instruction. This is what Jesus told Peter after he came back, after he had denied Jesus. Jesus said, feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep. This is grace. Grace is a Christian's best gift to the world. How many of us have regrets that now we cannot overcome because the persons don't live anymore? How many of us have been rude to our parents and our parents are not there anymore? Those are opportunities that have gone. But we all have opportunities that still are with us. I have regrets with my parents. My parents have gone on many years ago. I can't go to them. I can't make amends with them. That's too late. So all I can do is pray that all the things that I could have done that I did not do, God will forgive me for. When I say that we have fun and all that in our fellowship here, that's true. But when I see our community here, take heart. I see that we have got many parents with special children here. I see the way the parents look after their children. I see the way the members of this church look after these children. How wonderful. How wonderful. So let's not just beat ourselves on the back. Some of the most beautiful children I have seen are those with special needs. Innocent, completely absent, without guile. What they say and what they see is what they are. The smile they give you because they mean it. Not trying to make you please, not trying to get favor from you. We've got so much to learn from them. And I must say that I have learned so much from you, members of this church, how you've looked after people like this. There's many things I wanted to share, but I don't think I have the time to do that. I just want to say that I want to talk about a man all of us, most of us knew, Sue Eugene. You remember Sue Eugene? Angie is not here, I think, today. She's not well. Sue Eugene was a newspaper editor, writer for the Star. He, early in his life, contracted cancer, nasopharyngeal cancer from the throat. He went for treatment. He was cured. The disease came back. He went for treatment. He was cured. The disease came back. Through this all, he was working. Through this all, he was doing various things for people. He was a member of the OMF Home Council. We used to meet regularly. I would take him from the meeting back to his home every night. We would sit and talk and talk and talk, and sometimes we'll sit in the car just outside his house because we're still talking about things. He was always talking about other people. In addition, through his illness, he looked out for people who were sick and visited them in the hospital, people he never knew. He would pray with them. He would counsel them. He did not directly tell them, ask them to be Christians or bring the gospel to them, not always. He had a column in the Star. Is Chunwai here today? Yes. He worked with Chunwai, and he had a Star column. Initially it was Saturday Starters, then he called it Sunday Starters, where he wrote many things about his experiences, and never did he talk about Jesus Christ in any of his articles in the papers. But I spoke to him, I spoke to Angie. They received a lot of letters from the public who have read this. He had a very big following, and thanking him for the various things that he advised them to do. I said he never preached the gospel, but he still got letters from people, including people from all the religions in this country, saying, Sue Eugene, I know you are not preaching, but I know you're a Christian. His actions and his words were speaking louder than his ministry that he could do by going and speaking from the pulpit. His life was his ministry. He never complained about his illness, He always had a smile. I've never heard him complain about anything. I know, because I spent a lot of time with him. Finally, when he died in the hospital, Asda's hospital, with the family around him. A very peaceful departure. 9 years ago. 9 years ago this month, Sue Eugene passed away. So his impact has remained in the lives of people. And what is the impact that we have for the lives that we have met? What can we do? Is there anything that we can do that's different than what we are doing now? We can treat our people that we meet better. We can treat our maids in our home better. I must say that when we first started working in the Ministry of Health, we were in Kuala Terengganu, and we had a maid called Salma. Salma, wasn't it? And we had a little child by then. We didn't pay her much. We didn't give her a big salary. Actually, the salary was very small. And you know what friends told us? Don't pay more than that. You're changing the market. Do we give salaries according to what people tell you, or because of what they deserve? I have often thought about what we did. We should have given her more. We go to a market, a pasar malam or something, and you find a stall, somebody is selling either durians or something else. We always bargain with them. Or we go and buy some clothes in some place when we are traveling overseas. We try and bargain right down to the lowest we can get. But do you know, it struck me many years ago. They may give you a lower price. You don't get that in a supermarket. They don't lower the price for you. Whatever bargain they've given you less than the price they've asked you is probably the money for their next meal at home. What is our ministry? Is it better to sometimes be cheated a little, but fed a family? These are the things that Jesus is asking us today. They asked Peter, Jesus asked Peter, you remember when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane? He went apart and walked a few feet away from the Peter, James, and John. He says, wait for me. He went and prayed and came back, and he found the three people sleeping. He spoke to them, went out and prayed again, and came back and found him sleeping. Found the three of them sleeping. The third time he came, he found them sleeping. But by that time, the mob to come and arrest Jesus was already there. What did Peter say? What did Jesus ask Peter? Peter, are you asleep? Jesus is asking me, Alex, are you asleep? Are we asleep? And there's so much to be done. I would like to close this message. I know it's a bit of a jagged message, but the message is clear. We have a job to do. Jesus has put us here with the privileges and the knowledge that we have so that other people will have a better life. Are we doing what we can? I think most of us do. But is there things that we can do more? Are there things that we regret that we can make corrections for now before it's too late? Because one day it'll be too late. One day for sure it'll be too late. Either we'll be gone or they will be gone. I just want to end this with a small video clip about Sue Eugene. Not that I'm saying that he's better than anybody else. I'm saying this because I know Sue Eugene, and I know whatever is being said about him is true. I don't know most of you as much as I knew him. I'm sure all of you have stories to tell. All of you have things that... And one last thing I must say before I do that. I love going to funeral services. Strange, isn't it? At funeral services, people talk about the lives of people who have gone. And I said, I've been talking to this person for so many years. I never knew these things. I never knew he did this. I never knew he had this problem. I never knew because he never shared it. I said, if only I knew. If only I knew. There's so much in the lives of other people we do not know. We presume we do, but we don't. So with your permission, and I've got permission from Angie to present this video that our own people have done together. It's called Rainbow. Can we have that? With that I'll end.
mountain.